Lights up!
Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Lights Up. I'm Cait, Dyke, one of the co-artistic directors for Putney Theatre Company, and I'm thrilled to say I have one of my fellow cast members with me today from A Midsummer Night's Dream, Chris Cully.
Oh, hello Cait. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, my absolute joy to have you here, Chris. Now, Chris, you joined Putney Theatre Company, hold on a minute, almost a year ago to the day.
I did indeed, give a week or two. Yes, a year. We'll say a year.
So you had been trained as an actor?
Yeah, so I trained at the National Youth Theatre and another London drama school, and then, as a lot of actors do, fall out and go into the 5 days a week, 9 to 5, and then we were blessed with the wonderful COVID-19 and lockdown, and put a lot of perspective in place for me. And I found you guys. I've actually known about you for years.
What took you so long, Christopher?
I suppose a little bit of fear and a little bit of, I don't want to say snobbery, but I think once you come out and you've trained as an actor, you go, oh, well, it's an amateur theatre company. And then, funnily enough, I found you guys and I just thought, let's go and do it. And I came and auditioned. I applied via email. And was invited to audition for Alice in Wonderland.
And you played the White Rabbit.
I did indeed. And I remember coming here. I still vividly remember walking in and nerves automatically set in. And I was blown away at the professionalism in terms of the setup of the auditions. We obviously met people that were also auditioning. I auditioned, curtsied and said, oh, thank you very much. Thank you. And then left. And yeah, the rest, I suppose they say, is history. But I think that was my first takeaway, was I left going, wow.
Were you surprised? Because when you say, and I totally understand when you've trained and you're a professional, and then to go into something as a regional theatre company where most people are volunteers, did you expect the standard to be as high as it actually is?
Hell no.
Yeah.
No. And I think also from my own, again, growing up in Sussex and being part of local theatre companies there, I suppose I came with kind of a prefixed image of what it was going to be like. And even in terms of the setup with the theatre and then also having the studio, it's kind of like a gift that keeps giving.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Oh. So. Now, who do you play in Midsummer Night's Dream?
I'm very fortunate and I play 3 characters.
Nice.
Lysander, flute, in brackets, Thisbe, and my favourite character, Moth the Fairy.
Is that because you're my moth? I play Titania to those who have not listened to the previous podcast. And I won't lie, you're all my favourites. Wink.
Thank you very much, Cait. Yes, and Moth the Fairy. Again, this... Even using my training from drama school, doing outside performances is something I've not done in years. And just being able to have that freedom again and tapping into kind of the different techniques that you use and being around other people that use their voices quite freely and it's just something that's naturally ingrained. You've had the opportunity to kind of learn, which is, again, each
it's muscle
production.
Memory, though, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's just been an amazing opportunity. And again, at the Hurlingham Club.
So we did our 7 performances at the Hurlingham, where we had to battle the elements. Although it didn't actually really rain on us, apart from
when Cait means elements, she means helicopters and planes.
Yes. Dogs barking.
Oh, that was the night when I walked over to stage left, and the dog aggressively went for my foot, and I was like, I hope she keeps it on the lead.
And that's just Chris.
Yeah. Love it.
So, but now we're back in the theatre.
Yes.
Back on terra firma.
Exactly.
So what do you think will be the differences between our outdoor and our indoor?
Well, I said this, which a lot of people were kind of like, I think in terms of doing outside performances, especially doing matinees, you lose the magic, I like to call it, that you have in terms of being in a theatre, or if it's outside and at night with lights and all of the little special things that come together with other people's skill sets to create what essentially is the story, the performance, the emotions that people feel and the journey they go through. I think it's really difficult in an outside performance during a matinee when you've got planes going over.
Absolutely.
Or we had the Hurlingham Cricket Club smacking their balls. And
yes, there is all of that. I think it is interesting because something like a lot of Shakespeare's plays actually translate really well to being done outside, being performed outside. But I think you're right. When you go back inside the theatre, it is that lovely little bubble. Mm-hmm. And the performances are more subtle because you're not having to project and you're not competing with
jet engines.
Engines. So I think it'd be really interesting. Basically, I've said to people, come to both because you'll see a very different show.
Completely.
So we have our
100%.
Now.
Yes.
As my husband's literally banging on the door. So that'll be fun. And then we have our dress rehearsal on Wednesday.
Yep.
And then Thursday, Friday, and 2 performances on Saturday.
I know, it's exciting.
And
but
really
you
quickly.
have to come. Please come and watch it. You're in for a treat.
Oh, I love
100%.
He's our new PR agent. Marvellous. Thank you, my darling. We better
thank
go,
you so much for
otherwise
having
we'll be
me.
in trouble.
Yes.
For the direct tour. But thanks for dropping on
No,
by.
thank you. Mwah.
So that was Chris and Cait, but here's an edited version of the interview on Riverside Radio with cast members Frances, Penny and Cait as they explain in more detail about the performance of Midsummer Night's Dream coming up.
And we're now joined by Kat, Penny and Frances from Putney Arts Theatre Company. I got it wrong, Kat, already.
Don't worry, it's Putney Theatre Company, but we're the resident theatre company at Putney Arts Theatre.
Got it. When you need stuff said, you need a professional, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry about that.
Right. Tell me about your show. Penny, what is the show and what part are you playing?
It's an abridged version of A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's 80 minutes long. I'm a geriatric puck. I do a lot of moving around. So it's very challenging because it's voice and movement, which makes it fun. But the rest of the cast are all right as well. No, they're brilliant.
Penny
it's
was
really
a
fun.
trained dancer, can I just say? So when she says she was a geriatric puck, she basically puts us all to shame when she's leaping around the stage and we're waddling after her, quite frankly.
Yeah, and she's the most agile of all of us.
Yeah, exactly. So
I have seen Penny in a few other things and I've always thought, very elegant. Would make a very good geriatric part. I've always thought that.
The part was made for her.
Absolutely.
Environment.
Frances, what part are you playing?
I'm playing 2 parts, actually.
Oh.
I'm playing Peter Quince,
Yeah.
who is the director and the writer of the play that the Mechanicals do, which is Pyramus and Thisbe.
It's one of my favourite bits. Sorry, Penny.
You. All right, I'll get it.
And then I also play Peas Blossom, who is the sort of chief fairy in waiting to Queen Titania, who miraculously is played by Cait here.
It is indeed, yeah. So I play 2 parts as well. So I play Queen of the Fairies, Titania, but I also play Hippolyta.
Right.
And I just love the fact that Frances has bigged up her part, that she's now my chief fairy in waiting.
Were you aware that she was the chief fairy?
No, Sean, I wasn't. But obviously, yeah. But I am now. I've got the memo.
First to be called on stage.
I just thought that-
I think I am the chief.
I thought I was going to do my bidding. But okay, yeah, you're my chief. Whatever. Yeah.
And Cait, it's your husband who's directing, isn't it? Have I got that right?
It is, yes, yeah. So he's so we took over as the artistic directors in July. Mm-hmm. So we were approached by the Hurlingham Festival to come and do an outdoor performance during their festival that was last week.
Yeah.
So he's ended up directing it. And then we're doing our indoor performance.
Yes.
Which is at the theatre from next Thursday to Saturday. That's the 15th to the 17th, with a matinee at 3 p.m. on the Saturday as well. So 4 more performances.
Brilliant.
So those of you who didn't get a chance to come and see it at the Hurlingham, there's no excuse to come and see it now indoors where it's warm and not raining.
No. And you'll be in the main part of the theatre.
main auditorium, yeah,
absolutely.
Midsummer doesn't really fit in your little studio, does it?
I'd like to see it. Maybe with very small people.
Yes.
Fairies.
Oh, I'd be all right.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I could pick my part up.
A one-woman show, one-woman version. That would be great.
I'm sure I could create it.
That'll give you something to do over Christmas.
Thanks.
Bring it back. And how's the rehearsal period going? I'm assuming from all this banter and chatter and frivolity, it's been going really badly.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I never would
We
expect
hate
it.
each other.
Actually, it's been quite a bizarre rehearsal period because it was over summer, so we didn't really know we were going to be doing this until quite late in the year. So our rehearsal period was quite scrunched, and a lot of people were on holiday, and one of the cast members actually turned around to me and said, "Do you realise we've only actually had 4 rehearsals with the whole cast?"
No, really.
Which doesn't show in the performance.
I'm sure you're
But
such
given-
professionals.
Given the feedback we've had, with being like the most tightest, fast-paced version they've ever seen, is
Quote.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
an actual quote. So
Nice.
But we've all worked together before, and I think that probably makes.
Does that, as you've worked together before, you've all got a shorthand. You know how that person's going to work doing one thing, and you know how you're going to react to what they're doing. It makes life a little easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Hugely.
I think it does, and I think you're able then to be more flexible with one another, particularly in an outdoor performance where you've got the elements and trees and aeroplanes and helicopters.
Oh, fun.
So you have to adapt. You have to be able to stop what you're doing and improvise for a bit before starting again to actually talk. It really helps. Penny and I actually have a scene together, which
she overacts in
terribly, and so does Penny, obviously.
I'd expect nothing less.
But it means that you just know each other well enough to be able to know what's going to happen and not worry about it and just go with the flow.
It's a trust, isn't it, really? That's what's lovely when you work
absolutely.
with people regularly. Although, obviously there's newbies. We always have new people,
some
new cast
lovely
members that
people.
come.
Well, that's also good because that adds a bit of a frisson as well, doesn't it? It makes you step up a bit more.
Yes.
And kind of, you've got to embrace
we
them.
like to
But
say they come up to our level. Actually, is how we,
You can see how this is going, Sean.
I do.
Did you get
You're
the memo?
exhausting, all of you.
No, it's been a lot of fun, but it's actually been quite weird because this week we haven't seen each other because we finished on Saturday at the Hurlingham, and then we've got this week off, and then we're back again from Sunday. Sunday. So we've all been kind of going around going, where is everyone? Yeah.
I suppose on Sunday you've got your Get In, haven't you?
Yes, we have. Get In, then Tech on the Monday. My husband will tell me if that's incorrect. And then our dress is on the Wednesday. That
Brilliant.
I do know.
Where are you? What sort of period is it being set in? Are you going traditional, or are you going to go
Athens, my dear?
Ancient.
Yeah, we've been
La la.
incredibly lucky. We have a very talented group of costumiers at Putney that we've recently have come over to us. So we've had a student who's designed them, and then I will give Amanda a massive shout out, who's basically her and her team have sewn 9 costumes plus.
Wow.
Which is really quite phenomenal, and they look brilliant. And of course, outside at the Hurlingham, it's beautiful, but obviously under the lights in Putney, it's going to look equally stunning. So her and her team have really done
everything.
wings and everything.
Wings,
Don't give it away. Shh.
Sorry.
Spoiler. Wings.
Yes, for anybody who doesn't know anything about A Midsummer Night's Dream, someone might wear some wings.
I can't say I'm very excited about my wings. But so they
Have you got the biggest wings, or does Frances have the biggest wings, seeing as she is the
I
fairy
don't
in
have
waiting?
any wings, Sean.
Outrageous. Have you not thought about going down to, Clapham Junction Park shop?
I was thinking with the fairy union. Parties at Wings Are Us. Yeah, no. I don't think mine was as big as Oberon's. Actually, I think his wings are bigger.
Wow. There are so many comments we could make. Now we are not going to make them.
We're not quite into panto territory yet, are we?
We are getting there.
It's edging ever closer.
And as you said, it's going to be at Putney Arts Theatre. It's starting next week. Where can people get tickets and all of that?
Via our website, Sean, on www.putneyartstheatre.org.uk, or via Facebook or Twitter, Instagram. It's all up there. So
everything is everywhere.
Everywhere, like everybody else. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, website.
Right, we need to stop whispering and wiggling our eyebrows at each other because that doesn't work on radio.
It really doesn't, does it?
It really doesn't. Stop it. Yes.
Now, ladies, it's been brilliant talking to you. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. It's been such fun. I've gone a bit Miranda there, haven't I? Fun. So we know the play's coming up next week, Thursday.
Friday, 2 performances on the Saturday, 15th to the 17th, 8 p.m. in the evening, 3 p.m. matinee.
No interval.
Oh,
No,
lovely.
in and out, 80 minutes.
Love that.
Rollicking
Time for
romp.
dinner.
Love a short show.
Oh, don't we?
Brilliant.
As do we.
Thank you so much for listening. This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.